How did you get revenge on a power-tripping officer? Second Lieutenant Marcus Blake thought his West Point ring made him God's gift to the Army, fresh out of officer school, assigned to our platoon in Germany, and immediately started making everyone's life hell. Blake's favorite hobby was surprise inspections at 4 a.m., not official ones, just him being a control freak. He'd burst into our barracks screaming about dust on windowsills and wrinkled sheets, wrote us up for having snacks in our rooms, claimed it was unsanitary living conditions. The breaking point came when he denied weekend passes for the entire platoon because one guy had scuffed boots. 28 soldiers stuck on base because Blake wanted to flex his authority. Half the guys had family visiting from the States. Our platoon sergeant, Jake Morrison, had 20 years in and was 3 months from retirement. Blake treated him like a private, countermanding his orders and humiliating him in front of junior enlisted. That's when Morrison approached me and Private Williams. "You boys want to teach our lieutenant a lesson about respect?" Morrison knew Blake's weakness. The guy was obsessed with his efficiency ratings, wanted to be the youngest captain in battalion history. Everything had to be perfect for his career progression. Morrison's plan was beautiful. He had access to all the paperwork, all the systems, started making tiny changes to Blake's reports. Nothing dramatic, just small errors that would surface later. Equipment serial numbers off by 1 digit, training completion dates shifted by a day, supply requests for items that didn't exist, all traceable back to Blake's signature. Meanwhile, Williams and I worked on the social angle. Blake loved posting on military forums about his leadership philosophy, always bragging about his innovative training methods and strict discipline. We created fake accounts and started asking pointed questions. How do you balance efficiency with troop morale? What's your retention rate? Questions that made him sound like a tyrant when he answered honestly. The beauty was watching Blake slowly realize something was wrong. His reports kept getting kicked back from higher command. His online reputation started tanking as people shared screenshots of his arrogant posts. But the masterpiece was Morrison's final move. Blake had been falsifying PT scores to make his platoon look better. Morrison documented everything, then submitted an anonymous complaint to the Inspector General. The IG investigation was swift and thorough. They found the falsified records, the equipment discrepancies, and the online evidence of Blake's toxic leadership style. Blake got called to battalion headquarters on a Tuesday morning, came back 2 hours later pale and shaking, cleaned out his office without saying a word to anyone. Turned out the IG had recommended he be relieved of command and face an Article 15 for falsifying official documents. His dream of making captain early evaporated overnight. He got transferred to a desk job at a supply depot in Kansas. No troops to command, no leadership opportunities, just inventory management for the rest of his career. Morrison retired the following month with full honors. At his retirement ceremony, the battalion commander praised his mentorship of young officers. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. Blake's replacement was Captain Sarah Davis, a Mustang officer who'd been enlisted for 8 years before commissioning. First thing she did was restore our weekend passes and apologize for the previous leadership failures. The best part? Blake never figured out what hit him. He thought it was just bad luck and clerical errors. Never suspected that 3 enlisted soldiers had systematically destroyed his career. Morrison sent us a postcard from his fishing cabin 6 months later. Taught one more lieutenant about respect before I left. Thanks for the assist. Williams and I kept in touch after our enlistments ended. He became a police officer, uses Morrison's tactics on bad supervisors. I went to college, studied psychology. Always remember that lesson about patient, methodical revenge. Blake probably still thinks the Army screwed him over, never realizing that karma sometimes wears sergeant stripes and has 30 years of experience in creative problem solving.